Yeah. So, but where we're at with, in fact, I don't think I did show. Ah, yeah, I did forget to show that. So yeah, let me show you all that because what I wanted to do next, because I talked about where MDC Brooklyn is. I showed you the picture of the building. I'm actually going to show you where it is on the map. Okay, so if we look at the Google map, um, okay, so oh, I gotta go here. MDC Brooklyn's right here, right? So yeah, this is MDC Brooklyn, and this is the train station. This is where he got off of the train. This is where, because the shooting has actually started before here. So this is where the train stopped. A bunch of the people get off. In fact, everybody gets off. Um, so yeah, so it's between these two stops, between 36th Street and 25th Street. This is where it happened, and this is MDC Brooklyn. So it was like actually interesting that he did it like right there, because that's where he is right now. He's right there, and like I said, it's the mental health issue is going to be huge as this case goes forward. And a lot of people think, oh no, it's that's diminished capacity. That's all as far as it's going to go. And I'm like, no, because the first place the mental health issue is going to come up is whether he's even competent to stand trial. And like he's already on medication, so they're gonna like that's gonna be a huge thing. Does he need? Is the medication working? Does he need medication to restore him to competency? Is the medication even capable of restoring him to competency? Because, like, the thing, in order to be competent to stand trial, a defendant has to be able to assist in their own defense. And so, if they're mentally ill and not able to assist in their own defense, that's a problem. So, like at one point, it was all the person needed to do was be able to recite facts. Understand what is an attorney, what's a defense attorney, what's a prosecutor, what's a juror, what does the jury do, what does the judge do. Just know the basic facts around the case, and if they could recite those facts, if they understood those facts, they were competent. But then they heightened what then the courts clarified the standard to make it clear that a mental illness, even if a person could recite the basics of what the roles of the people in the court are, that wasn't enough uh, to indicate competency. Because if the person's mental illness was doing something like stopping them from taking a plea, so if the person was mentally ill to the point where they're like, okay, this isn't real, so I refuse to take a plea. Like if they say so, if the person says, oh no, this isn't even real, so I'm not going to take a plea, the the government's like, well, we're offering you, a certain amount of time, that is far less than you're looking at, and they're like, no, 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 this isn't real, so I'm not going to take a plea. That's a person that's incompetent to stand trial, like, and they're incompetent to even proceed. So at that point, they would need to have to be restored to competency, so that they can then make a rational a decision that's not interfered with by their mental illness on whether or not to accept a plea. Now they may choose, even if they're sane, or even if they're competent, to reject the plea because they think they can beat the case. But if their refusal to assist in their own defense, or their inability to assist in their own defense, is because of their mental illness, then that is going to be grounds to find them incompetent to stand trial. And then the process begins of, well, can we restore them to competency? And so I think I have a very strong feeling that not only that he will be like, I'm guessing in the next week or so, if he hasn't already been shipped out. And no, his reason why I don't think he's already been shipped out, I think because I still think he's on suicide watch. But I think that once he comes off suicide watch, they're going to ship him out for an evaluation super quick. And so this should be like a 30-day evaluation to see if he's competent, and they might extend it because of the high profile nature of this case. So they look at him, determine whether or not he's competent, and I have a very strong feeling that Frank James is going to be initially found to be incompetent to stand trial. But like that doesn't mean that he doesn't stand trial. That means that now they have to try to restore him to competency. I have a very strong feeling that's what's going to happen next, though. Jeffrey Dahmer got found competent. Dude was a straight psycho. So, okay, so Was he found competent initially, or was he found competent after some time? Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, because there's I'm looking at the way this guy talks, and I have a strong feeling. And so I actually forgot. So in addition to that, there's going to be, in addition to the government sending him to one of several sites around the country that actually conduct these evaluations and have big site departments. There's going to be, of course, his team, his lawyers are going to have to appoint mental health professionals to take a look at him as well. So he's going to have his own team of evaluators to possibly look at his competency. Well, not necessarily his competency. Actually, yes, to look at his competency, and then eventually, if he does decide, if he is eventually found competent to stand trial, there's going to have to be his own mental health experts to determine whether or not he was insane at the time of the crime. And that's when things are really going to get interesting. But like I said, all of this is going to be relevant to what happens now. So the things that are done in these initial evaluations and studies are going to be somewhat relevant, even though they're not looking for that specific question. There's going to be a lot of information that's revealed then that will give us greater insight of how this is going to play out down the line. Dharma was on tranquilizers. Okay. And yeah, so like, it's, as I look at it, I realize that this is just the beginning of the case. This is just the beginning of the case. This is just the beginning of the blowback. Thank you for checking out this clip from Escaping the Echo Chamber. If you would like to check out the entire live stream, you can click on the screen now, or you can click on the link in the description box below. I'll see you next time.